Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm playing a little bit of Blitzkrieg 3. The reason for this is because Blitzkrieg 3 is actually free for this weekend. It's probably free until around about the end of Sunday, so Sunday night in America. So if you want to give it a go, go for it. I mean, it's about 3 gigabytes, and as a fan of the Blitzkrieg series, I've just been waiting for an opportunity just to try this one out before I actually purchase it, and well, I'm probably going to purchase it. It's pretty damn good. So if you want a general idea of what Blitzkrieg 3 is, basically, it's a mixture of Hearts of Iron and Company of Heroes. So Hearts of Iron is a game which really nails down the strategic and tactical aspect of a World War II game, whereas Company of Heroes has always been a little bit more arcadey and more RTS-y when it comes to the actual battles on the ground. Well, Blitzkrieg 3 takes both of these ideas, adds them together, takes away a few aspects of each of them, and melds them to make a fun game. And so that's how I would describe it. And as you can see, we have a mission here. This is Martuba, and we're going to use Archibald Wavell. You can actually use different generals if you want, but I'm trying to train up this guy to get him to level 1, get some stuff. And every mission, so you have a main objective, seize the town servicing the German airfield. It tells you what you get out of it. As you can see, these are my reserves right here. So what we have to do is be aggressive. Now, generally what I like to do is take an S-35. This is the amount of points that you need, or the amount of points you can take basically out of your vehicles. So we'll take another tank, and we have MG squads, assault squads, and infantry squads. So let's take one of them, maybe not actually, because if we can get 2 of them, there we go. So we're taking 2 tanks, we're taking some infantry squads, and an assault squad. During the battle, you can also get reserve points generally for certain things, such as completing objectives, and then you can bring in reserves, which is the rest of your army, or you can use them to purchase certain supporting stuff, such as artillery strikes, recon, stuff like that, you know, the general things. One of the issues I personally have with Blitzkrieg 3 is the fact that you have to connect to a server in order to play it. I would like to not have to deal with that stuff, but apart from that, it's not too bad. As you can see, this is where the Company of Heroes idea comes in. It's a bit more tactical than Company of Heroes in my opinion, because you can't really heal your units, but let's move forward. We know that we have some guys in the shed over here. I'm pretty sure we can't really do this stealthily, so we're just going to take both of our tanks and blast the hell out of it. So let's see how close they have to get. Not too close. So we're using the infantry to support the tanks. Here are the stuff that I can actually get, as I talked about before, from, you know, my reserve points, which is down here. It looks like we don't have the opportunity to get more spawn points in this mission, so we have what we have, and we have to complete the mission with it, and that's as it goes. You have a finite amount of resources. You can't keep bringing people in like you would in Men of War or Company of Heroes. And that, to me, is something that is interesting. It basically means that you set up what army you want to bring, but just remember, that's the only army you're gonna get, so you have to play it as it comes. Alright, let's see. That is an anti-aircraft gun, which is kind of deadly towards troops, so we have infantry in these houses. Let's get an S-35 over here. Oh, that's an anti-tank rifle. Maybe not. We'll bring them back. These guys are doing okay. We're about to get shot in the side, so let's make sure we fire back. These guys are going to go left over here to try and take out this anti-tank rifle. How are our guys doing here? I mean, they're winning, but it's not going great for them. These guys are struggling to take out this tank, but they're slowly but surely doing it, so let's move the infantry over here. Just so... Oh my god, they're throwing grenades, that's what's going on. Come on, take out these guys. Last guy, there we go. So as you can see, they have certain positions on the map that the enemies use. So we have an anti-aircraft gun there, we have an anti-tank rifle gun here. So if we want to commandeer them after, you know, we've taken and killed the enemy on them, then you can do that. Looks like the Stuart took a hell of a lot of damage, so he's going to stay in the back. The S-35 being a medium tank, so far it's done me pretty well. And it's been able to push me forward. Some of these objectives you can move around, which is nice, other ones you can't. So the anti-aircraft gun is one which you can. We're still trying to just get to the objective here. We've run into minor resistance and lost a few people, but not a ton. And I think we're just going to move through this area here. I've only run into one crash recently, or in my time playing, and that was when units basically, they were pathed into each other, and then what happened was it seemed like 3 units got stuck on top of each other and then crashed the game. So as long as you don't do that, then you should be okay. We're going to set up the anti-aircraft gun here to take out any troops which decide to attack us. We have another anti-aircraft gun here. Shouldn't be too good against our S-35, so we'll push that up. Take these guys out of this shed here. Maybe move them up to this one, and we have this unit here which we will use to spot out enemies in the area. So the S-35 wants to go this way. Okay, that's completely fine. There's a wall between us and that anti-aircraft gun, so the tank may struggle taking this out. So we'll move slightly back and try and kill these infantry members before we do anything. Right, you go in there. There we go, nice shots. The S-35, as you can see, just murders infantry. It pretty much murders everything, which is great. And because we have to capture this flag... Oop, the anti-aircraft gun is ready. Where are you going? Get back. We don't want any grenades or anything. Leave that AA gun alone. Shoot the units. There we go. There, as you can see, my units from here are actually shooting at that AA gun. They actually have a shot on it, and it seems like it's not firing back, so that's wonderful. So far, it's going well, apart from the Stuarts struggling.
Reinforcement points received.
But we got some reinforcement points just from killing some units, so we can bring in some reserves. These are the people we didn't bring, but you can click on them, so I'll do it really quickly just to show you. So you click it, and then it will take a certain amount of time to come in. And you can also use these if you feel like it. So far, I'm just gonna not use them, keep them at bay, because I don't think I need to use them yet. And we're just gonna keep pushing forward. Do we have anybody who isn't in a shed? No. Right, so let's get some people out of the shed and on their way. The Stuart I don't want to sacrifice. If you lose a unit in a battle, then obviously you can't use it in the next one. That's basically how it works. So even though you get rewards of units from these battles, what can happen is that you kind of just sit there and you're like, well, I only have 2 units to do this next battle after all of my other units died. So you've got to watch out for that. Looks like there's some people in that house, so let's use one of these. This is the artillery strike. I found it pretty useful. There's also... oh dear, that's a tank. Tanks are incredibly deadly to infantry. As you can see, they just murdered half of that group right there. So it's tank on tank. That's a Panzer 38T against my S-35. The S-35 should be able to put quite a big hole in him. As you can see, the artillery is coming in, doing a lot of damage. Or, well, not really, actually. It didn't do a lot. Let's just keep you here. Where's our half-track? Yeah, so the half-track's in now. And there you go. It's just an M2 half-track with a 50 cal on it. Who's under fire? I'm guessing it's my tank, yeah. So it looks like it's pretty close between my S-35 and the Panzer 38, so that's kind of worrying. We can bring in another Stuart if we want, or... oops. There we go. Or a Studebaker, which has like a low, slow-firing gun, which is supposed to be anti-tank, but it doesn't really do a lot of damage. So let's get everyone out of their houses. Obviously, you get a bonus from being in a house, defensive bonus. But for me personally, it's time to move forward. These guys are actually out of sight, as you can see by that eye. That's kind of interesting. But I think we're going to make a push onto this house here. That seems to be the house where everyone is waiting. And you can actually assault houses, so instead of just trying to fight outside of them, you actually have a button to do it. You have prone, as you can see there. You can also remove obstructions, you can do some minesweeping, dig trenches for fortification, and also assault buildings. So that's the one we're going to use right now. So we're just going to click on it. As you can see, they get a little sword and daggers on top of them. We're going to stick you in here, just to give some support. Hopefully there's nobody else here, otherwise we're running into kind of a death trap. Oh dear, indeed. Okay. Do you do any damage to that? No. Right, you need to get off that right away. There we go, and you need to run, and that's exactly why. So we have another Panzer 38T. We need to go around the side. Task complete, so we've actually captured the position. There is already the Panzer 38T there, but it doesn't matter, because we were able to get the victory. So what we get as a reward is the Samoa S-35, which is a French tank, and it gives you all of, you know, what it's good at and stuff, and we also got just some normal infantry squads. It's a nice little victory screen. I like how it runs. They even have health and stuff, showing how similar it is to something like Company of Heroes. And that's obviously the main difference between it and others. It also tells you, you know, it gives you really good tutorial at the start of the campaign. Technically, we're at the start of the campaign. So yeah, simple as, really. A new mode is now available to you, Skirmish. In this mode, players battle for a neutral territory. So very much like Capture or Domination. This was the map where I actually died because my computer crashed. So it actually gives you a report of all the stuff that happened, which is really cool, as you can see. And, you know, you can watch the replay if you feel like it. For me personally, I don't really feel like it. So now we have some more missions. We have Frontline, which is a skirmish. We have Battle with Boris, where we have to fight Boris, and then we actually have a main story mission, or a main campaign mission, whatever you want to call it, defeat enemy paratroopers. And then there was something over here, which is eliminate German officers and escape. So that sounds very much like espionage. We did have a battle in Norway, where what they wanted us to do was basically just bomb a factory, and we were able to do that. So let's see. Do we want to do this just to show a different game mode? I think so. Oh no, it's find a game. So this is actually multiplayer. So we'll stick to normal stuff for now. So we have to defeat the enemy paratroopers. January 1941, the Italians control the airfields and ports on the northern coast of Libya. Command has learned that the enemy plans paratroopers to land in the Derna region. You must capture the anti-aircraft guns located in Derna and prevent the invasion. Simple as, really. And we get a cruiser tank Mark 1. Well, that'll be pretty useless. But we get an anti-tank squad, which is kind of cool, and also a little card. Oh yes, I actually have to have it. I kind of forgot about having some units along. That might be a good idea. Can we get another one? Let's see, so we have one squad, we have an assault squad, we don't have an MG squad, but we can bring them in as reserves. Having our 2 tanks up front, well, we're against enemy paratroopers, so maybe we'll just bring one. I always like to bring one just in case. So we'll bring the Studebaker if we can. And then, no, we won't bring the Studebaker because we can bring one of these and then we can, oh my god, 202? Are you kidding me? Oh, I can do that though. Yeah, let's just do that. So we're bringing the M2 half-track instead. And we're going to use good old Archibald. I'm enjoying it. I don't know the complete ins and outs of this game, but I have played the other Blitzkrieg, so I'm guessing it's very similar. Once you lose a battle, the general probably dies, or he has to have a respite for the next battle. But let's see what's going on. Capture the anti-aircraft guns.
To capture the enemy's anti-aircraft guns and destroy the airborne divisions.
Well, we can do that. I just want to check one button. So controls. Why, what is this? I was wondering what the buttons are for this. For rotate camera. Oh dear. No. Is it borderless window? No, full screen. There we go. And as you can see, we're not even anywhere near the high graphics really, and it still looks really nice. So, why is it insert and home? Those are two terrible buttons to use. But we're gonna move the camera. Generally, being able to click on the mouse would be the best thing. So capture the pier, we get some reserve points, so let's try and do that. Let's try and move down the main road just to see what's going on. I have no idea how many tanks there are or anything like this. I did only bring the average unit, or the squaddies I suppose you'd call them. So I'm relying heavily on this tank to be able to deal with any armor that we may run into. But so far so good. As you can see, they get different bonuses if you move through different areas. So generally you can sneak through areas, others will give you defense and stuff like that. So let's see what's in this building. It looks like we have some people, so let's stick another one in. There we go, we do have a house. Let's bring up the M20. The M20 can deal some damage. We have a 38T, right. So you need to shoot that straight away. No questions asked. The infantry themselves can deal with a lot of the enemies around, as you can see. And we've taken minimal damage, which is good. The only issue is our tank is getting blasted. Oh, there we go. And their tank is actually shooting our guys in the building. So that's actually good for us. But what I'm going to do is take out one unit. And the other unit now. It looks like the tank can't actually see our tank. It doesn't have line of sight, but we have line of sight on him. Which is wonderful. Is he going to move back? Looks like he is. And that's fine with me, because it means we can capture the place. So let's push forward these two units. We have taken quite significant damage right now, which I am not happy with. But what are you going to do, you know? Right, we're going to hold here, because we can see the tank. So the S-35 is going to push forward, take some shots before this tank can shoot him, move the half-track in, just to make sure if we get flanked or anything, there's going to be a gun there to be able to help out. The S-35 does not have to go that close, but it's decided to. Let's push here. See how close the 38T has to come, and he bounces off the front. Oh dear. Oh, okay. I take back what I said. We're bouncing off each other here. But there we go, the 38T is down. As you can see, we're capturing it by the flag changing. We are playing as the Americans. You can play as the Russians and also the Germans, I believe. I'll look after this battle. And basically, at the start of the game, you pick a faction that you can play as, but you can change whenever you want. And that's always a nice little thing. So, how are we going to approach this? We have these two anti-aircraft guns that we need to capture. It seems like there is one path at this side, and there is a much longer path on this side. So I think we're probably just going to take the longer path. It's probably easier to do, but that doesn't mean we have to do and send two groups. It doesn't mean we have to send both areas of people the same way. So let's go and have a look with these guys, what we can find. I'm guessing we'll run into quite a few issues. There we go. Supported by the half-track. The S-35 is looking a bit worse for wear, but we can bring another one in if we need to. Yeah, let's just bring one in. I think it's necessary, really. Alright, move back. Whoa, buddy. So you know there's some guys in that house. We can send in the S-35
Reinforcements arrive.
to do damage to it. We have the other one which we'll keep in reserve. We brought one in from the reserve to keep it in reserve. Yes, that is the logic I'm going for. Oh, he came in through the side. Alright, good stuff. Right, you stay there. Let's push forward with these troops. Can get in that house there. These guys are pretty low. I'd rather use these to push forward with. There we go. Right, have you dealt with that house? It looks like you blew something up. I'm not sure I agree with that. We may have been able to use that for our own purposes, but, you know, whatever. Oh, what's that? Hold. Oh, it's just a regular unit. So, we spot with the infantry, and then we shoot with the tank. They'll push forward into the infantry, which is not just stationed here in prone, but also here, so that's what we're going for. As you can see, they're moving in. So I move the camera back so I can see stuff.
Our troops are
There we
under
go.
fire.
There we go. So we've taken minimal damage so far, and they've pretty much lost the whole squad. Something that is different compared to other games in this genre is you've got to understand you are going to lose troops. It's not one of those games where you're going to just be able to push forward and, you know, heal up your troops or not lose a lot of troops. That is kind of just going to happen. It is something you're going to have to get used to.
Our troops are under fire.
Let's just take that out real quick. Looks like the anti-tank rifle isn't great against the S-35. But yeah, as you can see, I've taken damage from a lot of my units. That's just standard. It's gonna happen. To play a perfect game in this game is pretty much impossible just because of how the mechanics work. But if you can, good on you. Like you're a hell of a lot better player than I am. So we're pushing forward with one group of infantry. I do want to get the other one involved. So we'll push them down the other lane. Whoa, buddy. What's that? It's a light vehicle, a Caro. Oh, dear. As you can see,
Our infantry is lost.
your infantry dies very quickly. But guess what? I have an S-35, and you have no armor. So we're just going to go in and take you out. Did you really miss that? Oh, no, you hit him. Okay. And there we go. So let's push back. How are we doing on this side? We're not really doing a lot. We do have another unit, so we can use them to push forward. We can always bring in reserves if we want. But at the moment, I think I'm good. There we go. It also tells you how many you've got. If you don't like it like that, you can do it like this, but I think it's just easier with that, especially when you start getting a ridiculous amount of units, which does happen. Like, you start getting a lot of different units, which is really cool. There's a lot of unit diversity in this game. What is that? That is an entrenched P-38. You know what I could do with? Getting shot so it becomes unentrenched. That was an attempt at a shot, I suppose. There we go. Right, okay, so we can actually kill it without it even doing anything. Because it's sat entrenched, it doesn't want to move, so that's nice. The other S-35 is doing okay. We're just pushing up this hill. Line of sight is massive in this game. It's a big factor. Oh dear. Hold that. We're not going to push forward there. Are you dead yet? Nope. You're getting there, though. Oh, Jesus Christ. Move back. Move back now. Before you all die. There we go. The S-30... Oh, we lost. God damn it. Grenade is out. Oh, but it's okay. Right, we need the other infantry unit, which was on this side, to go and have a look. Just to make sure there isn't too many people. The Panzer 38 is dead, though. So we've lost 2 infantry units so far, which is fine. Whoa, buddy. What is that? Anti-tank rifle crew once again. Let's try and get some shots off at them. As we found out before, the S-35 can't really be penned by them, so it's not that much of an issue if they attack. There's also the anti-tank, the anti-aircraft gun that we can just shoot at with the S-35. And I do hear a lot more shots, which kind of worries me. But we're just going to
Our troops are under fire.
move these guys back slightly, just so they don't get shot at, while our S-35 tries to do what it does best. Oh dear. The track's off. Okay, shoot them then. Alright, there we go. Right, shoot again. It will take time for the S-35s to kill these guys, but I'm fine with that. At the same moment, we can actually bring up some of the troops that we haven't used, which isn't a lot of them at this point. We've been using our infantry to try and see what goes on. It also periodically saves, which is nice. So you don't have to worry too much about, you know, saving yourself. What is that? It's an anti-tank rifle thing. I don't think we really need it.
Reinforcement points received.
What I think would be a good squad, good idea though, would be to bring in some units. There we go. Our tanks are doing well. Looks like there's another anti-tank rifle thing there, which doesn't surprise me.
Our troops are under
But
fire.
let's get some of these guys
Our infantry
inside.
is lost.
Wait,
Reinforcements
what
arrive.
killed them? Oh, I get confused sometimes.
I got you.
Is it really that squad there? How did they kill them? That's incredibly surprising to me. Anyway, we have 3 squads that we brought in.
Orders confirmed.
So you guys get on that. We need the S-35 turned around.
Sir. We're already moving.
Oh, there's a tank there. Alright. Can you go and shoot that guy? And then we'll get you to shoot him as well. If we're only defending against paratroopers, we probably don't need tanks. So, not sacrificing them, but putting them in a position where they may get hurt at least is okay, in my opinion. Right, so there's one of the teams. You guys are the assault squad. Right, you can go here.
Task complete.
We don't want to put anyone in this
Now we
building.
use the captured anti-aircraft guns to knock the enemy's planes out of the sky.
There we go. So now we have some planes. Hopefully the AA guns do their job and take them out. It looks like they are. Ooh, we have some Ju-52s, I think. That's pretty cool. Whoops. There we go. And there we go. There's the victory. Because we were able to take out everyone. And we get the Cruiser Tank Mark 1, the A9. Nice stuff. And the anti-tank squad as well. They're basically close combat grenadiers. They are okay. They're pretty much, you have to use them to ambush. But generally, yeah, they're not great. I'd rather just have a normal squad and a tank. But there we go, battle rewards. You will receive new units as a reward for winning battles. Rewards number and type depend on your effectiveness in battle. Story missions grants you a certain reward only once. If you are victorious in side missions or battles at the front line, rewards are random. Units have 4 types of rarity. Ooh. So yeah, that's how that works. And it looks like some of our units have actually got some more experience now, which I'm guessing gives them, makes them more tougher and everything like that. And then we have that French mission. But I think I'll leave it here for now. I think you get the general idea of how this works, and it's a pretty fun game. It really is. And if you want me to play through like one of the campaigns on this, just let me know, and then I'll pick up the game and play it for you, because I find it fun, and if it's something you'd like to watch, well, there you go. It's a win-win. I'll see you next time.